Let's go.
We live. Yo, E. How long we been trying to do this?
For years. For years. For a long time, boy.
We
Ever since I
live.
came into the basement at the crib, at the pool table we was building,
That's a fact.
that's probably 15 years ago.
Yo, it's crazy. And then we still did the other show. Well, you did the other show and brought me on, but
Yep.
just being able to sit down and build is just
we did get that
that's
done.
Been waiting to be in fruition for a long time.
Facts.
So welcome everyone. Welcome to the Stay in Tune podcast.
Yep.
That's right. We're here. We're finally here. Stay in tune. Everybody, welcome to the Stay in Tune podcast where culture, business, and real life collide. I'm your host, Germaine Boss, and I got my co-host,
AI Erik.
AI Erik right here, and we're about to get into it. Now, before we even go any further, let's just do our quick disclaimer real quick, right? So that everything you hear on the Stay in Tune podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. We only sharing ideas and opinions. This is not professional advice. Always do your own research and make decisions that fit your life. Now let's get into it and let's stay in tune, people. So
you know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna see if I can add you. Oh no, on IG because I went live on IG too.
You was able to go live on IG too?
Yeah, but I don't know how to invite people. But later for it, I'm gonna use that. So if anybody got some questions, I just pop them over to us.
Yeah, let everybody know this is definitely going to be live on a consistent basis. So y'all be able to call in, ask questions, and we'll definitely get into some things. So hey, let the people know what we're going to be talking about, why we're doing this, and where we're trying to go forward.
So definitely, right now we definitely going to be talking about artificial intelligence. Everything you hear on, that was your thing. The episode breaks down why every person must learn AI, how it impacts their daily life, and what it means for business, creativity, and career survival. You know what I'm saying? Anybody looking at the live, we on YouTube right now. We live on YouTube with my man BBS, my man Germaine.
They don't even know that name.
The YouTube is youtube.com/that AI Erik, but you can still stay here too. And if anybody got any questions about AI, we're gonna talk about it right here. But I was trying to go live on Facebook, but I was having issues. You know, I'm new to this going live thing on Facebook and Instagram, but we ain't used to go a lot.
But this is our first one, so people have plenty of time to ask us questions on another one. Right now, we just want to let them know what we're going to be talking about and how we're going to be building with them on a regular basis. See, we really want people to understand this is for the everyday man. This is not just for people that know about financial intelligence, know about AI, know about business. This is for anyone that wants to learn or even has knowledge of it already. We're here to build with each other and learn from each other, and that's what we're here for. So AI Erik is the specialist. I'm talking about, when you talking about a specialist, you talking like, see, he don't just go into things like a little bit. Like when he goes into something, he really dives in. So when he became AI Erik, I thought he was the AI for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let them know what you're going to be dropping on them, how you're going to be letting them know about how AI can benefit our lives.
Well, we in a messed up situation right now, I feel, if we don't wake up. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like a lot of us are not waking up to this AI realm. The good thing is there are a lot of people now starting to get on the wave and kind of starting to teach it and stuff like that. So to me, the more people like that, the better, because this is something we really have to wake up to and start learning, and start putting together in our plans, however we move forward, whatever kind of business we got, your personal life, your brainstorming, things like that. You should be using AI.
But when you say AI is going to change our life, and we really need to learn and understand it, why is that? Why we can't just let AI and the people that's dealing with AI deal with the AI, and then when it comes into our lives, we just use it? Why do we have to specifically learn it ourselves?
Well, AI has been racist and discriminatory and biased towards us for the last 20 years.
Wait, hold on. How can an AI be racist? Like, isn't this an intelligence that is past what we know, or we teach it? How does AI get its intelligence? Like, explain that. Like, for the people out there that don't really understand what AI is. What is AI? We know it's called artificial intelligence, but what is artificial intelligence?
Hold on, I'm gonna put the YouTube. Artificial intelligence is machines mimicking human intelligence.
Okay, yo, you see what I mean? Yo, you just really broke that down really simple. For the people in the back that didn't hear that, say that one more time. AI is what?
Artificial intelligence, machines mimicking human intelligence.
So they're mimicking the intelligence that we already have. Yes. And they're basically taking the collective intelligence of us as a species and then gathering it into one place so that they can utilize it for whatever function we wanted to utilize for. Am I correct?
Well, just put it like this. It's like this. You have to go way back to like the 1950s. Alan Turing. He is who I'm not Alan Turing. Jeffrey Hinton is the godfather of AI, but Alan Turing is the one that kind of first thought of it. Like, can machines mimic human intelligence? And that's when machines was the size of a room. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, they had what they called the Turing test, which they had they had a human being, a machine, and another human being, and like a partition. And the human being didn't know which was which, but he asked questions to both. And
interesting.
He didn't know which was what at the end of it. He didn't know which was the machine and which was the human. So that's what started the whole realm of artificial intelligence, but it wasn't named at the time artificial intelligence. There was really no name for it at that time. And it wasn't like written in law, like, okay, this machines can think like humans, but it was written on white paper. And at the time, that was enough for the governments to start funding it and say, yo, oh my God, machines can think like humans. Let's start funding it. And then what happened is they did start funding it, but it never was able to do what they kind of promised. And in the 1970s, the money stopped, and it was called the white winner. So, but the name artificial intelligence did come a few years after the Turing test. After that Turing test, you had a group of guys that got together called it was called the Dartmouth Conference. And it was a guy named John McCarthy who was like the head of it. And they are the ones that turned artificial intelligence with that name. It was a family thing, actually. There was like a family thing. They was guessing different names, artificial something, something. It didn't sound right. And then one guy was like intelligence. So they put AI, artificial, with the intelligence. And that's why we have that today. So that was basically birthed in 1956. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the white winner is what stopped the money. But then you got who we call the godfather of AI, Jeffrey Hinton, who came along, and in the 80s, in the mid 80s, they had a little contest, and he won it with this thing. He created what they call back propagation. It's an algorithm that actually allows us to have what we have today. And we have what we have today because of deep learning. You know what I'm saying? And deep learning is like, it's part of AI. It's a subset of AI. What is deep learning? Deep learning is basically synthetic neural networks. You know what I'm saying? The same thing you got in your brain. So what happened is he came up with an algorithm that was able to show that machines can think beyond their training. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And it could take the next step. But we didn't have the first. Go ahead.
No, so I just want to ask you a question. So at first they're saying that you're saying that the AI couldn't do what we wanted to do, but then he figured out that it could.
Yes, with his algorithm. And that algorithm is called back propagation. And he termed it deep learning. It's called neural networks today, but it was really deep learning because it's more than just one layer. It's layers. It's the same way as your brain. Yo, anybody who's on who's watching us on IG, it's basically layers. It's like your brain. It's just your brain is layers with neural networks, billions actually. You have I forgot how many, but maybe 60-something billion neural networks.
And these neural networks are the way
you learn.
And these neural networks are like the things that you say firing off in your brain that's learning the information to be able to handle tasks.
And they actually fire off. Like when you think and you read and you do activities, like right now, my arm moving is lighting off neural networks in my brain, but it's a certain part, you know what I'm saying? And then when I get sad, it's a certain part that's firing off. When I read, there's a certain part firing off. But the problem is when you don't be active and you start giving everything you should be thinking about and doing to the AI, that's when your neural networks stop firing off. And
so
over time, it's a problem.
What you're talking about is people basically asking the AI to do everything for them and not being able to use their own brains.
But that's here. Let's go back to Geoffrey Hinton, though. Once Geoffrey Hinton created the backpropagation, there was also a problem because there was not enough computation power and enough GPU power to give us what we have today. So there still was a problem in the 80s. And it wasn't until NVIDIA came into the picture with the gaming chips, they realized this dude's gaming chips work and gives us everything we need.
So NVIDIA was the one that put it on the map.
Well, it was able to make the backpropagation algorithm work. Okay. Because they need power. Like AI uses up a lot of power, and that's going to be a major problem in the future, particularly for us, low income. It uses up a mass amount of power. Like one search in the AI uses up about 13 to 16 times as much power as a search in Google, as far as electricity.
Wow. So is that the same problem that they had when they was building the mining platforms for mining Bitcoin? Having the computing power and all that?
I believe so, but I know they're building these data centers for AI, for data, to compute the data. And
what I'm asking is it the same amount of power, or is even more power than
I don't know. I don't know if mining is the same amount of power as far as data computation, as far as in these AI data centers. I don't know the answer to that question.
But it isn't.
But I do know that these AI companies are going to end up becoming data companies.
Okay,
so that's where the money's at. But that's going to hurt us.
Well, for the everyday person, right, that says, okay, this is a lot. This is all going on over my head. I don't even know what you're talking about when it comes to these data centers and all that. When it just comes to AI and how it's going to affect our lives, what type of things is it going to affect? What kind of jobs are we going to be losing? What kind of jobs are we going to be gaining? What should people be? Who should go to school? When they go to school, what should they be learning when they go to school to be able to
plumbing,
prepare for this new world?
Plumbing, carpentry, electricians, anything hands-on. Also, critical thinking, mathematics. It's so many different things, like thinking logically. Like it's thinking has so much to do with what's going to happen with if you make it in the future. Sitting back and observing the world. Like you're going to have to be a creative thinker, because what's going to happen in the future is the jobs are going to go away. And even if it takes 15 years to go away, even if it takes 10 to 15 years to really see an impact and we start be like, oh shit, this is real. Because the people in my world, we already know jobs are not hiring. And that's a problem. Jobs are, Salesforce just laid off, fired, matter of fact, out of 9,000 customer support agents.
Mm-hmm.
They, why is this saying? Okay. Out of all of those agents, why is this saying go live? Why is that saying go live? Is that? Oh, that's for X. I guess we can't go live on X. Out of all those 4,000, they're done. That's it. The AI took their jobs. And a couple of years ago, we was telling people, yo, become engineers and become coders. And now we can't even tell. I still tell people to learn it, because imagine if we stopped right now with the productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what can still be? Everything has been built with engineers and coders that we have today. So you can still be like, just put it like this. Imagine we was in the game 10 years ago, Black, brown, and Latinos. Say, for instance, 35% of us was in the room. The deep seeks that have been built, the Manuses that have been built, all the incredible models that have been built, the VO3s, we would have been responsible for a lot of amazing models because that's just who we are. Am I right?
Yeah, if we was in the room.
But we ain't in the room.
I mean, see, the thing is, it's funny you say that because, see, how I see it from the standpoint that I see it, because it's funny, when we first started talking about AI, you remember, you were breaking stuff down to me that I didn't know nothing about. And I was like, listen, I'm just trying to figure out how to use AI to better my business and use AI to use different tools to better my life. And for the everyday person, for me, what I find unique is that we're in a place now where, as we spoke about, nobody knows this. So we're on an even platform with everyone from the learning aspect of it. It's not to say that nobody knows it, but if you start learning it now, you can start to actually develop things for your own family or your own life.
But that's now. You got to do it now. Like this.
That's what we're talking about. We have to do it now. If we don't do it within the next 3 to 5 years, then we already know.
Now ain't no 3 to 5 years. They better do it this year or next year. What I'm telling you, man, and say, for instance, somebody watching us right now waits for 3 years to start using AI. They done.
They done.
They done. They're not.
You're not going
to get into the game. You have to get into the game now because this thing moves very, very fast. There was a time when they wasn't charging us for tokens. There was a time when I was having unlimited space. Now, even if I'm a paid subscriber, if I'm going hard, that shit might still say, yo, come back at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the $200 a month subscriber. It ain't telling him that. But what's going to happen when the $20 go up to $40 and then $60? And then what happens when your competition is here because you can't get the parameters they got? You ain't got the money they got. So what I'm telling people is to use it now, understand what's going on, get into the game. So as it changes, you could change with it and still go with the flow because it changes all the time. Like we said, I'm telling you, all of us, me, all the other AI professionals, we was telling everybody 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, yo, become engineers, learn coding. And like I said, I personally still tell people to learn it because of what we have today. You can still build, even though AI is doing 70% of the coding. As far as for people who know how to code, like it's actually auto finishing their code once they start writing, because most of it is what AI knows it needs to be. Now, if it don't, might have to change something as a coder. But what I'm saying is 70% of it is AI. 70%. Go ahead.
Quick question. Everybody isn't into coding, right? So when you say coding, because when you keep saying coding, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm thinking of websites, I'm thinking of funnels, apps. You know, coding can be used for a lot of different things, but the average person is not even understanding what coding is. So when you talk about coding, specifically, what are you talking about when you say coding?
It's a language. The coding is like when you create games, you have to create it with code. Everything is created with code. Websites use what?
So if I'm not an engineer and I'm not trying to look to build no game, I'm not looking to build a website, I'm not looking to do any of that. When you tell me I need to learn AI, what are you telling me I need to learn?
No, I'm not telling you to learn coding. Everybody needs to learn AI, but when I talk about coding, that's for the people who want to actually build something. Okay. That's not for the everyday person. The everyday person needs to learn AI because AI is going to affect every aspect of everybody's life. It's not like a lot of people be saying, well, I'll talk to the kids. And if you plan on being here for the next 10, 20, 30 years, you have to learn it too, because it's going to affect your bank account. It has already affected every decision for the last 20 years, particularly the last 15 years. When I tell you AI has banks that have been discriminatory towards us, health care centers that have not given us the best health care, education systems that have failed us tremendously, is because of AI algorithms.
And who builds this? And basically, just to let the people know, other humans are building these algorithms that the AI play out. Am I correct?
Yes.
So that's the reason why we can have racist AI, let's say, is because someone that might have racist in their mind are then putting these algorithms into the AI.
Yeah, because if you have to think about it, if America has been what it's been for the last 400-500 years, and we actually take the data from the last 400-500 years, what's in the data? What is it going to show? You know what I'm saying? They Black, brown, and Latinos, particularly Black and brown, have been particularly treated very, very bad in certain aspects of history, and that's in the data. As far as them calling us gorillas and like things like that over in the past, that ended up becoming in the data. Tech with X, shout out to my peoples, Tech with X, you know what I'm saying? She is one of the reasons that actually stopped, you know what I'm saying? Because she was already in the AI companies and she didn't like what she was seeing. And for you to say, yo, let me Google a Black person or something and a gorilla pop up, that was years ago, B. That wasn't 20 years ago. That was when AI chatbots popped up. Facts. And you know what I'm saying? But they released these models. I mean, I believe mostly every company, I ain't gonna say every company, but I know ChatGPT, OpenAI, when they release their models, they do not be ready.
Well, that's in most business when, it's not about being ready. It's about seeing if it's going to work. But I want to touch on something that you said real quick, because I think it's very important. When we talk about what the data shows and how, we've been disenfranchised as a people for a long time. A lot of people, when they hear that, they say, see, this is the problem. People are hating on us. Even the AI is racist. They'll take this as a way to feel like they're a victim. And I want to say that the very unique thing that you're telling everybody right now that I want to stress is that right now we're in a place where you can become the master of your fate in learning it yourself. You're at that place. You're at that moment right before the industrial age when you just found out that they got metal over there. And he's telling you, oh, listen, metal's going to be the new thing, man. You need to get in the metal right now. Even if you can't build a building, build little cans so that you could put food in it. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, that metal thing ain't going to be nothing. When people came out with the cell phone, it was a big box and they was telling you, yo, this is going to be in every home. And like, what? People had that big box? And, man, get out of here. And these are times when we didn't have the internet. So we couldn't communicate with other people across the world and confirm what someone else might be telling us. But right now with the internet, I'm guaranteed that you get on that internet and have hundreds, if not thousands of people confirming that AI is going to change your life. And if you're not willing to go out there and learn something right now, then you have basically told yourself you want to be the slave. You want to be broke. You don't want a better life. So don't blame the world and blame circumstances and blame discrimination and all that when your family can't eat, but there's other families that's eating because you didn't decide to learn something.
And I find that we have this issue, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's just something about us. We have to see other people winning before we get into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to see other people selling shirts before we sell shirts. And we want to see them being successful first. Like, I've been doing this for years now. And what's going to happen is once I blow up, people are going to be like, yo, Erik Kahn blowing up. I'm teaching AI now. I'm going to start teaching AI. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. Learn it, teach it. Like, I just want us to come up, because I know where I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying? And
but people are doing it a long time, Erik. You don't just teach AI now. We've known each other for a while. You had several businesses. You still have businesses that you do now. So this is not something that you just decided to do because it worked. You already knew that you were going to be successful 20, 30 years before you were what you were. So, a lot of people are just trying to mimic what someone else's other people are doing. But right now, this ain't even about being successful at trying to create a business. Just learn it so that you can benefit your family. You see what I'm saying? Don't use it to ask about the groceries. You see what I'm saying? Ask it to come up with a plan for you so that you can make extra money in your home. Yeah. Ask it for a plan to help discipline your child so your child can be the next Elon Musk or the next, Steve Jobs, not the next LeBron James.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That can be the next Steve Harvey, or could be the next, multi-millionaire.
Yeah. So let's get to that part. Let's get to the good part of it then. As far as the tools, you got amazing tools. I use these tools every day. I do automation emails coming to me. I automate a lot. That, like, my posts now, shout out to my man Dwayne Brown. And you know what's crazy? I teach AI, and my first presentation was in Dwayne's spot. You know what I'm saying? But Dwayne, I knew about this app, but I never used it and thought I needed it until Dwayne kind of broke it down to me. And I started using it. And now all my posts on social media, as far as LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, they could be a month ahead, where I don't even have to post for a month, but any day I want my joints posted at any time, they're going to get posted. My posts, you know what I'm saying? That's automation. That means I ain't got to sit there. I got a video that where I'm doing one of my youth AI News with Erik joints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fact.
It's not me. What I did was I took some pictures of myself, and then I was tired one day and I came in and I said, you know what, man, let me just do the audio. And I threw the audio to the picture, and I created an avatar. And I had it just like, yo, this is AI News with Erik, sitting here just like this. But it wasn't really me sitting in front of it. But you can't tell from the video. But that's what's going to happen, man. Like, and just like you said, you got so many people telling people to learn AI. What the problem with that is, a lot of them shits is avatars and they AIs, where people are like, man, I don't want no AI telling me to learn AI. That's what we gotta keep this human aspect of life in this thing, man. I'm telling you, we can't let this AI take over. We can't let this AI just control every aspect of our lives. Be like, you know what I'm saying? We have to continue to learn how to think. We have to continue to learn how to get together and be around people and be humanized, because they are trying to take this away, bro. They are trying to turn people into zombies. So what I'm telling you is, even when you say the good parts, the ChatGPTs, the Claudes, yo, I feel like this personally. I feel like you got a good 10-year run to get shit popping. That's how I feel. A good 10 years. Because I believe after 10 years, I think things are going to change drastically. But I believe from here, for the next 10 years, if you use this, you could come up with brilliant ideas, brilliant plans. Right now, life is about data. Life is about analytics. Life is about understanding the numbers. And that's it. Life ain't about this thug shit, this gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? This life that we lived, I know, you know what I'm saying, in the past. You know what I'm saying? This dude is going to ask me to send him the link while I'm in the middle. Come on, bro.
I mean, if people ain't already on, then they missed it. It's just too late.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So we have to get out of that mind frame. We have to get out of that mind frame. We have to get into being a nerd, bro. I hate to say it, like
being a nerd. But how long? I've been telling people that for a minute, bro, because I'm letting you know I was that nerd. I was the cool nerd. I was still with the gangsters and all them too, because I knew how to live in both worlds. But the nerd's been winning for the last 15 years, because they're the ones that create the world that we live in right now. That's right. You see what I'm saying? So when you start to realize that intelligence doesn't make you a nerd, it just makes you smart. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, if you look at the nerds, they're the ones winning.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, when we're young, what I want to touch on that real quick, because a lot of people think that we need to get out this mindset, and people don't like that I say this a lot of times, because I don't sugarcoat stuff. I'm not the type of person to try to let you make the excuses that you want to make. Most people are still with that gangster stuff because that's all they knew how to do. Yeah. They've never learned anything past the time that they got out of 12th grade. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like the old saying in the movie with the jock, who was the jock, who was the football star and all that. Then you see him in his life later on. He's living in a trailer home, messed up because he never learned how to read properly because they kept passing him in school. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's a drastic example. But what happens with a lot of people is people don't want to learn, because learning is outside of what they've been doing for a long time. So I was teaching this to my son the other day. I'm trying to explain to him that the reason it's hard for a lot of people to do things is because your mind can only do things based on what it's already done. or else it feels like it's difficult. Your body tells you it doesn't want to do it.
You know why though? People don't know, and I just recently learned this. The brain is built to not remember. Like it doesn't. You have to repetitive. It takes 7 times for your brain for something to start sitting in. You got to remember it 7 times. You got to watch it 7 times. That's why the phone number was 7 numbers, because 7 is more likely in order for you to remember. But in order to even an ad, if you want an ad to get pushed, someone has to at least see it minimum 7 times.
But in order to see it 7 times, especially if it's information that you got to learn, you got to want to see it 7 times. You have to force yourself.
We on youtube.com/@AI Erik. It's on my YouTube channel. Just look for AI Erik, AIERIK.
You can ask any dude that goes to the gym. When he first went to the gym, did he like working out? He's going to tell you no, he didn't like working out. But he liked the fact that he knew he was going to get bigger muscles. Right. So he forced himself to go until his muscles got bigger, and the bigger they got, the more he liked it. So eventually he didn't have to like it. He loved it. Right. You see what I'm saying? So this is just something that we have to start to train our brains to do and understand that the food that we eat, you know, the bud that we smoke, the liquor we drink, everything that we do is already compounding on the fact that your brain tells you to forget. Yeah. So if all these things are then taking away from the information that's in your head, you have to replenish it with more information. And sometimes you have to force yourself past that. Sometimes when you're watching a movie and you get distracted, you have to remember, say, no, let me focus back on what I'm doing. So you got to learn how to do that with things you don't like. So even when I'm teaching the kids in the jails, in the schools, I tell them all the time, listen, when we get in this class, first thing we do is do some push-ups. I don't care if you're skinny, fat, we're going to do some push-ups. Why? Because I know y'all don't want to do them. So we're going to learn now how to do things we don't like to do, because as men, we're always going to have to do things we don't like to do to be productive men of society. And if you can't do that, then you're what? You're a loser. And that's when you start doing things that you shouldn't be doing, or you just get used to being a gangster because you don't know what to do past that. You see what I'm saying?
They scared.
Yeah. And I understand it's scary. I understand anything that you haven't done before or that might seem difficult might be scary. But fear is nothing but false evidence appearing real. When you get on the other side of your comfortability, all of a sudden you realize it ain't that difficult. You know what I'm saying? When you're starting to learn how to fight and you get punched in the face and you don't get knocked out, you realize, wait, I can actually take a hit.
Yeah.
You can't hit me squarely in the jaw. You know what I'm saying? So now you start to see things differently. And this is the thing that we're in right now. This is that moment where we can all start to learn something that could actually benefit your life. Look at AI as you having a multi-million-dollar assistant that you're paying for $20 a month to do things for you.
Right.
Now, what are you going to ask it to do? Are you going to ask it to read you a dumb book about something stupid? Or are you going to ask it to do something that you never had access to? You got access to a multimillionaire right now. What are you going to do?
And I'm going to tell y'all like this. Don't think that you have to, because I'm still learning after all this time how to better use these GPTs. So don't think about like, I got to know how to use it right automatically. It is a learning process. You have to use it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Look at the training videos. Like, I believe that's a good way to start understanding what this is, because it's not like you're just gonna go to ChatGPT, Claude, or whatever GPT, and start asking questions. Yeah, most people do that and just have fun. Oh, it answered a question, it did this, but there's a way you could use this to get busy. If you have a business, say for instance, I'm gonna tell you like this. Most of the stores, I went to Joey's on the Avenue, and Joey's more than likely is still doing their inventory the old-fashioned way, as far as knowing what's coming in, what's going out, what's selling good, what's not selling good, how many people are passing by the window and looking at the pink displays on Tuesday, and then coming in and shopping, how many people is buying, how many people's returning. They're not doing the numbers like that. They're just doing shit the old-fashioned way.
That's a fact.
And what's happening is they're just being consistent. But if they actually flip the script and they realize, well, damn, the stockings in the back, they don't sell. Let's do a sale on those. This sells a lot. Let's put those in the window. Because AI is going to teach you about a lot of things that you never knew. that pink in the window, that might draw a lot of people in. So you might want to pink in the window 3 times a week. Like AI is for data, for you to analyze what's happening with the numbers, how many people's coming in shopping. Like once you learn this, then you'll learn how to put a marketing plan together, a better one. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about data, man. Data is gold. And that's why when these people get these free AIs, I be laughing at it, man, because yeah, it's cool for a minute, but that's for them to rape your data. That ain't for you to get smarter, because they know you're not getting smarter. They know you don't even know how to use it.
Well, funny. I want to touch on that real quick for all my business people out there, because it's very unique what you said. So a lot of people, and I can say this from personal experience, when I started business, I didn't understand nothing about needing the data. I thought I was just going to sell a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? Get the money and then, make some more money flipping the shirt. Like, I didn't really think that, taking inventory, well, I understood the inventory part, but taking inventory of the people that were coming into the shop that were interested, that didn't buy, the people that I could then market to after they left the shop, if they did buy, that I could send them new things that might be coming out. I didn't even think about thinking of all the holidays and trying to come up with sales for those days and then marketing to specific people that came on those holidays. Like you said, all this is data. And when you start to use AI to calculate these things, it makes it so much easier. You can do it so quickly. So one of the things that he said for my business people out there with AI is it makes all these complicated processes that even if you know about them, you never did because you just didn't have the manpower or the funds to pay someone to do it. You can now use AI for $20 to $50 a month to handle all of these things.
You cannot complain about manpower now. I'm gonna tell you like this, Dwayne. Someone was trying to charge him a few grand for some SEO work, and that's how much it costs. And he had AI. We actually have an agent, and if anybody need to holler at me, inbox me, and I'll give you all a link to the 12 agents. But we got an agent that does SEO particularly, and he ran his website through her, and she told him what was wrong with the site, what you need. Let's get busy. I got you for $40 a month.
So, all right. So I'm gonna go on a limb right here. I'm gonna say that we're gonna do a show. We're gonna bring Dwayne on, and we gotta let people know these tools, because we don't want to gatekeep a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let people know how to get these tools and what specific tools do what. Because one thing I know about AI is when you start using it, if you don't know how to use it properly, you're not gonna get the results you want, and then you're gonna think that it doesn't work. But you have to use different tools in specific ways to get the results you want. You have to know the specific tool to use for that specific thing.
Right.
And that's a whole nother conversation for another day, because there's so many of them that we can get into. And that's another thing.
That'd be a problem too. Everybody want to rush to use different tools. Get what you want to get and learn it and master that. Don't be trying to just jump to tool because, oh, this is the new tool out. This is the next best one. Man, if you got something that's working for you, you know what I'm saying? Ease your way into other, because then next thing you know, you paying $120 because you using 8 different tools.
And you're not even getting any production done.
Right.
Because you got all this stuff going around.
I have to figure out what tools I
say master one. When I got ChatGPT, I mastered that first, to the point where people couldn't understand how I was getting the results that I was getting from it. And they wanted to know how I did it. And I'm like, well, I use it for a lot of things, so it really knows me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I asked it to do something that I already told it I wanted to do, and it did it 20 times for me, I don't really got to explain to it too much how to do it anymore. I look at it like one of my employees. She has a name and all that, so when you treat it as not as a person, but as something that can assist you in what you're doing, and stop being afraid of it, because at the end of the day, it's going to happen anyway.
Do not treat it as a person. Do not say thank you. Can you please? You are wasting money. OpenAI lost millions and millions of dollars because of people trying to be nice to AI.
Wait, what? Say that again? I never heard that before. Wait, you just told me some new stuff. Hold up, hold the press. Wait, I was one of the people saying please and thank you. Wait, hold on. I was wasting your money.
You wasting your money.
Wait, explain how I'm wasting money by saying thank you.
Because when you get a membership of one of these GPTs, you have what they call a certain amount of parameters and a certain amount of tokens. And as you say, for instance, say, create, give me a resume, and it's just giving you text. It's using a certain amount of tokens that you actually got for that month. And say, for instance, you say, give me an image. It's probably going to use more tokens than it did for the text. So let's say, give me a video. It's definitely using more tokens than both, because it's a video. It needs to work harder and it's more involved, and it's using tokens to produce this. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is you only have a certain amount.
You don't have
within your monthly allocation.
With your membership?
Yeah.
You have like a limited amount of tokens with your membership, depending on membership.
No, $20 you get what they. That's why I said, even for your membership. So the free ones, they gonna cut off quick. The free ones, you definitely limited. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I know people ain't really getting busy, because they don't even know this. Ain't nobody.
Heard. It's funny. I'm not to interrupt you, but I have a question for you. So I've heard two sides. I heard teachers or AI teachers explain how being nice to it, will get a better result. And I've also heard that cursing it out and threatening it will get a better result.
I've heard that. I've never heard being nice to it. No, I'm just telling you now. As far
are they accurate? Either one of them?
Neither one is. As far as it doesn't matter as far as which one is accurate. It's what's using your tokens. When you say please, you're wasting your money. That PLEASE is getting turned into 146, which is a token. It is now tokenized.
Wow, you just
so you could have saved that little 146 money and had it go to another word, because in the long run, you have to be productive. You might be working on a presentation for tomorrow that needs to be, presented. And now at 12 o'clock, you got 2 more hours to go. You done ran out of, you done. Cause now you didn't have that $200 a month joint. So now it's telling you, come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. What you gonna do?
Interesting. That's why sometimes it'll be freezing up when it be doing stuff, because it's trying to compute or because it's too many people or something like that. I always thought that, like, I'll be in the middle of doing something.
Algorithm of power. I'm gonna show you something.
You put that back. I need everybody to see that book. Hold that right there. Everybody hold that right there and tell everybody how you can get that book, man.
On Amazon.com.
On Amazon.com.
But I want to tell you something about what we're talking about. One of my chapters, chapter 6, parameters, payments, and the price of access. That's exactly what we're talking about right now.
That's very interesting.
People don't know this, and what I'm saying is it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse as far as you having to make sure you like, say for instance, one day I was using Manus and it took me 5 times to get what I was looking for, and I got frustrated, to be honest with you, because I prompted 4 times and I'm like, nah, but like, come on, this is not what I'm looking for. And you start getting frustrated when you use it as much as I do, right? And what happened is I realized I really didn't prompt properly. I just took advantage thinking and just thought that it knows me. It knows what I'm asking it, but I didn't actually ask it properly, which is prompting. I should have prompted better. So I took it for the 5th time and prompted it correctly. I got what I was looking for, but for those 4 times that I didn't, I paid for that.
So 2 things, because we got about 15 minutes. There's 2 things I want to touch on real quick or ask you. Number one, about the prompting. I want you to just go a little bit into making people understand how important prompting is and why having the right prompt will get you a different result versus just saying whatever and then getting a result.
Yeah. All right. So I'll give you an example. I go to ChatGPT. I'm just going in saying, create me a resume for this job tomorrow. I mean, for this job next week. It's a construction job. Create me a resume. Or compared to act as an expert in creating resumes. I'm going to go for a construction job in New York City with a company called Trisonic.com. I want you to look through their website and I want you to create me a resume that will be very enticing to them. And I'll upload my certifications and things like that. And I want the output to be Keep it on 2 pages. Put bullets and numbers where needed. Whose prompt is going to be more better?
The one with more details.
Right. And that's really the bottom line. That's how you talk to prompting is how you talk to the AI. And there's strategic ways to do it because there's tons of frameworks. A prompt can be like, when people say, oh, I asked it a question, that's prompting. Yeah. But a prompt can be 1,000 words. A prompt can be 20 pages. You know what I'm saying? So it depends. And then you can create frameworks. So say, for instance, my man got a sneaker store. He got 7 sneaker stores.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we want to do data analytics and hypothesis analytics on all his stores to keep everything and we know what's going on exactly, like real live shit. You know what I'm saying? But I lost my chain of thought just now. What was we saying?
Well, real quick, touching on what you just said, can you ask the AI to create the prompt?
So that's a problem too. So now prompt engineers are in jeopardy of AI actually, because I use Prompt Perfect. So for anybody who needs Prompt Perfect, hit follow, get me. I got links to that. It's actually a AI. It's actually a prompting thing that actually takes your vague prompt. So anybody who listening to this, when you prompt and you don't prompt properly, we call that a vague prompt. And if it's just a regular generic prompt, we call that a vague prompt. So this will take your vague prompt and turn it into a professional prompt. But the problem is you got a ton of AI companies now that's creating apps to actually take prompt engineers' jobs away. So, but the bottom line is you still got to learn prompting no matter what. Even if you get, so the cheating way is to get what I have. But the good way is learn from it. So sometimes you want to hit feedback and see why was your prompt vague? And the feedback's going to give you 3 reasons what you could have did better and 1 reason you did good. And then the perfect prompt is going to give you a perfect prompt. But at the same time, you want to read it because it might not be exactly what you're looking for.
What you're looking for, yeah. You want to tweak it.
And that be the problem. Most people ain't reading it. They hitting perfect, bang.
So you want to use you want to use your own cognitive skills, your own brain, and your own thoughts to help the AI create what you're trying to do by just asking it for assistance and then tweaking it a little bit. So if it says go to the store, you really meant go to the market. So you just changed the word store to market. You see what I'm saying? But you're just really just using it to help you create the framework. Like I tell people what I do a lot of times. If I want to create let's say I want to create a business plan for one of my clients, I'm going to ask the client as much information as I can about their business. Then I'm going to feed it to the AI and I'm going to tell the AI, create me a business plan. Now, I'm not going to just take that business plan and give it to my client. Now I'm going to go through the business plan and then tweak it and say, okay, well, I want you to change this with this. I want you to switch this
around. You ain't going to just say, create me a business plan. You ain't going to just say
of course, of course not. I'm not going to tell it that. I'm just trying to simplify for the people. Of course, we're going to have to give it a lot of backstory and different things of that nature. But that's what I'm saying. I'm going to feed the information into the AI because the AI is going to know everything about the business that I'm trying to create the business plan for. I'm either going to tell the AI what type of business plan and who I'm trying to market this business plan to, whether it's the banks, whether it's to investors, whether it's just to the client. Of course, I'm going to have to break all this down. But at the end of the day, whatever the AI gives me that first time, I'm not going to just take it and feed it to the client. I'm going to go over it. And what's going to happen is 2 things that I've learned personally from doing this. Number 1, you're going to find things that you want to tweak, that you want the AI to either change completely or you want to say it in a different way. But
that's just so you'll know, that's called iterating.
Iterating. Everybody remember that word. That's our word for the day, iterating. So we're going to have a word for the day every live where we want to start to build up our vocabulary. So remember that, iterating.
Iterating, y'all.
Iterating. But the second thing that I felt was the most important thing that happened was the more I read, the more I learned from the AI. The AI was telling me things in the business plan I didn't think about putting in the business plan. It then made me think of things that I could help the client with that I never thought I could help the client with or even help myself with in my business. So what happens with the AI is it's not just learning from you, you can also learn from it. And when you have that symmetry between
you better learn from it. I'm telling you, you better. And because let's take the little ones who they already trying to make sure that they dumb them out from babies. That's why they got the gizmos going after the kids now. The little AI gizmos, $650, $1,200, $1,500. You know, the white
AI gizmo. What does it do?
It's their little AI companion. It's going to walk around with them, follow them, go to the bathroom with them, and they can play games on it. It's going to wake them up. It's going to tell them what time to go to the bathroom, what time to go eat. Like,
I got a movie about that too.
We should all be worried about that. You know, we need to be worried about who's looking at night through the eyes of those little gizmos from other countries. When your kid go to the bathroom and you go to take a bath and got his gizmo playing with him because it's waterproof.
Well, you know, we already got cameras everywhere, so now you got cameras right next to you.
That's what I'm saying. So my thing is, we have to end up creating, and I got this from Oprah, we have to end up creating a new muscle in our brain to distinguish what's real, what's fake. When I answer phone calls right now, Germaine, bro, unless I hear like a real sound in the back and I know it's people, like, I don't say hello.
Yeah.
Because if it's silent, I say absolutely nothing. And then either the machine will come on, I hang up, or either it won't get me because it will hang up.
Man, it's
51% on the web is bots. 49% is humans.
I want to ask you a question real quick, right? That's the last question before we got to go. Have you seen that Palantir commercial?
Yeah.
The one where the lady wakes up and it was saying that she did something. She did I think some type of driving infraction, and then they took her money straight out her account and stuff like that.
I took a picture of her car.
So for the people that don't know, there's a Palantir commercial. And if you don't know who Palantir is, we're not going to go into this live. Look it up.
Peter Thiel.
Look it up because it's very important to your life.
Palantir has most of the major contracts with every defense agency in the United States. They have contracts with every agency that has all of our information. Palantir is going to be the ones that what you see is what he plans. And let me just tell you one more thing. They asked him, should all of humanity survive? Do you know he hesitated? So I want you, whoever's listening to this, he hesitated, and you should see what his answer was. So go look up Peter Thiel. He's going to talk about taking body parts off and replacing them with other body parts, bro. This is how far this dude is.
Now remember what Erik talked about when we talk about racist AI and different things like that. You know, the makers are the ones that decide what it's going to not just think,
and he's one going to
monitor and all those different things. So in this commercial, I want to give everybody context real quick, and we'll try to play this commercial maybe in another episode. But in the commercial, a lady was sleeping in her bed, then she wakes up, and then something hits her phone that says your account has automatically been deducted because she did some type of driving infraction. I forgot what it was, but it automatically took her out her account. Then it said, because we took this money out your account, you don't have enough money to pay your rent. So now you're going to be evicted within the next 24 hours if you don't get enough money to go pay your rent. And this has all happened automatically. So everywhere she's going, anything that you do is being monitored, and then the money's coming out your account automatically. There ain't no fees of late fees and all that. And if you go into default, you're now like a criminal. So if you don't have enough credits, you can now go to jail. And I've seen movies like this. There's movies like this where you have to get a body part. Remember the movie you get the body part, and if you don't get the body part, you don't pay for the body part, they'll take it back.
That's now though in China.
Wait, what? So I can get a heart, and if I don't pay for it completely,
no, not that part. I'm talking about the pointing system though. That's in China now. So another video similar to that is a real one. Because of that video, people mixed the real one with that video. And a woman showed that she couldn't get past the turnstiles to get on the train because she was limited with her points. So her family ended up using their points to get her a phone to get access to a bank. Next, you know, they deaded that. And then another guy talked like that's in China. China has a pointing system now.
That's crazy. And what I found unique that you just said is even when her family tried to help her, they said, nah, if you ain't got the credits.
But that's going to be over here, B. What's going to happen when the money goes all crypto and there's no cash and they got control of it? And I'm hearing they go put,
because who's Yakamoto?
I'm hearing they
figure out who Yakamoto is. Why did they create this?
I'm hearing they're gonna put expiration dates on the money. B. Imagine you get $500 in crypto and they say you got 90 days to use it or it expires.
Wow.
But what you gonna do? What could you do?
So I want people to understand this is what happens when you're not in those rooms creating the technology that we're seeing. Understand that there was a time when Black people created everything. They said the greatest thing that white man ever created was the patent office, and he might have got the credit for it, but we still created it. Right now, we're not the ones creating. Someone else is.
But if we don't get back on this creation ball, was in the rooms, man. Oh man, we would have had so many dope GPTs that was created by us. But what we're doing is,
real quick, I want people to understand too. We're not the only ones not in the room. The white people not in the room either.
They ain't in the room neither.
The Asians Chinese and the Indians are the ones in that room.
Chinese and Indians is the ones in the room.
They're the ones creating it. None of us are creating this stuff. We're all on the same level right now. Yeah. So this is not a racial thing. It's an economic thing.
It's an economic thing. This is going to be about the haves and the have-nots.
That's a fact. Up.
Haves and have-nots. This is not going to be color. I mean, you got certain people in certain administrations that worry about color, but in the real world, it's about money. It's about green, and that's it.
People argue about color.
Yeah.
When you're wealthy, it's about what class you're in.
But it is going to be a pointing system, man. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get there. But when it comes to Palantir, whatever you call it, they are the ones that plan on putting this in place. And right now, they are in a hell of a position.
Just understand, everything is better when you have money. So no matter, there's certain things that's going to happen in the world. Yes, there's nothing you can do about it. We understand that. But when you got money, you can mitigate it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When COVID happened, just went somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had a business that, I could stay open because I had essentials for COVID. We make masks so we can stay open. Yeah. So when you have certain things that you can leverage in these different situations, your life is better. So this is why information is important.
But yo, let me tell you something, man. You have so many different companies where you can create apps and agents. Man, you know how many people that can come up with a creative idea to just use those to end up coming up with something 10 times better? Instead, like, we can't just keep thinking, let's just use it. Let's just use it. Let's just use it. Nah, man, start using these things and analyzing them and understand how they work so you could build one better.
Mm-hmm.
Then we create our own rooms. We got to create our own. They not letting us in, bro. They are not.
You got to do it from scratch, like you just said.
They ain't no more DEI. We have to create our own rooms.
That's what we're doing right now on this platform.
Shout out to fan base. Shout out to fan base.
And shout out to all the entrepreneurs out there that's deciding just to go hard for themselves, and not being a victim of circumstances. Circumstances will happen to anybody. There's always a person that's in a worse situation than you are. Trust me. But at the end of the day, what you make of your situation makes you who you are. And right now, you have the opportunity to use AI to make things better for yourself. You don't got to do it from scratch. You ain't got to create a business from scratch. You could take someone else's idea and do it in a different place. The guy that created Krispy Kreme donuts, he got the recipe from someone in another country, came to America and made millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars. But it wasn't even his idea. And he didn't even...
Everybody, not to cut you off, everybody's idea is based off somebody else's idea. I learned that from a guy who was breaking down every business, why they did that business, because they seen somebody else doing something else. So even if you change it, it still's coming from someone else, some other inspiration.
That's a fact. Everything that we do, it comes from, somewhere anyway. So there's nothing new under the sun, right? We're just replicating what's already been done. So this is your opportunity. Before we get off, we just want everyone to understand, this is your opportunity to change your life in a moment of time that will never exist again. This is that moment. So I want everybody to remember that. We're going to be back on this every Monday at 7 o'clock. Next week, we're going to go more into the tools.
We're gonna go live too. We're gonna figure it out, either the Facebook or the IG, because we gotta go. I like this part right here because people's on right now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's our first one. We're gonna get people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we definitely
nothing. Eventually people gonna be fighting to get on, but that's you know, we're gonna do it. But
I need them to see you too though on the live, you know what I'm saying? Because I know they're like, yo,
listen, as long as they can hear my voice, we Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like we got recorded, we're gonna have it on different platforms, you know. And as we grow as a community, we're gonna all grow together. You know, we really appreciate everybody coming out to listen to us. Like I said, this is something we're going to do every week, and it's really about just giving y'all information and keeping y'all in tune with what's going on in the world, man, because right now, you know, we're not talking about what's going on in the news, you know what I'm saying, the latest shooting, and no, the stuff that really makes this world turn, the stuff that's really going on in the background that most people don't know nothing about but are affected by every day. Understand AI is already here. You know, when you go to the supermarket and you don't go to that teller, that's AI that you go to when you go to that cash register. You know, when you go on your phone and you hear Siri say, "What do you need?" That's AI talking you, asking you what you need. You know, when you go on Google and you type something in, you trying to figure out what you want, all of that is AI. So it's already been here for a long time. But right now, it's trying to utilize it for your benefit. We appreciate you. We hope that y'all stay in tune. And we'll see y'all on the next one. You already know.
Peace. Over and out.
Peace.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, you're going to